Josh Simmons is the most physically gifted offensive lineman in this draft. He is my offensive lineman one, offensive tackle one, and it's not even close. In this video, we will be going over and I will be discussing and proving to you why you should pay attention and why you should closely look into this guy's career, because I do guarantee that this guy is going to be a superstar at the next level at the offensive line position. Let's get into the video. Josh Simmons combines a rare combination of raw athleticism and controlled technique with also the grittiness to finish his blockers and maul the people in front of him. He is one of the most polished offensive linemen in this class, and I feel like that is such a rare saying to say in this class, because it's full of guys who have holes all throughout their game, but the guy who I believe stands at the top is Josh Simmons from Ohio State, who stands about 6'6", just weighing over 310 pounds. Such a gifted, physical profile. His natural traits should make him a very intriguing prospect in this draft. Listen, originally he comes from San Diego, California, where he played football at Helix Charter High School. He signed with San Diego State out of high school and redshirted in 2021. Then he transferred to Ohio State University ahead of the 2023 season and competed for the Big Ten against elite talent. This guy did upgrade his competition. Early on in his Ohio State career in 2023, he got the start and made some impressions at the right tackle position. And every week since then, he made a steady improvement. That is one thing I pay attention to in his film. He is not the tackle from before, and that goes for every single year. His senior film does not look like his junior film. His junior film does not look like his sophomore film. He is a guy who constantly worked on his craft, and that alone is a layered find in this guy. He really got highlighted when he was going against top competition because he allowed minimal sacks against, top edge rushers from programs such as Penn State, Michigan, and even Notre Dame. He was a nice jolt to the offensive line room in Ohio State, especially when they lost key guys such as Paris Johnson Jr. and DeJuan Jones. This stat proves that this guy's just been playing football. He has logged almost over 1,000 collegiate snaps combined from his time in San Diego State and his time at Ohio State University. So let's go over some of his strengths that I saw in Josh Simmons. Let's start first, basic. His stance as a tackle, especially as an offensive lineman, compared to the other guys in this draft, that is the basis what I'm looking for, and he's a lot more polished. A lot of these tackles are either too wide, too high, or just they look uncomfortable to begin with. I feel like the most athletic ready stance out of any lineman so far in this draft, and it allows him to be in a great spot starting out and having that quick burst off the line. He is very fast off the line, which can prove to be for him to be more and more explosive than the rest. From that, you also see at his size that what he is at 310 pounds, just over plus or minus, he moves very well. Like he's able to be in quick stances, have great movement ability, a great sidestep, a great shot shuffle, and how he can always be in position to be in blocks. I always pay attention to that. If the guy is moving fast enough to even get his head play side in certain zone concepts, or even just in the pass pro, is he in position to make the block to begin with? And he seems like he's always in position, even at his size, which I found like very impressive just off the bat. Also great mirror ability in that he's able to keep up with almost anybody, especially in space. I've seen him numerous of times get out on screens, and he's literally shuffling with the safety being almost 100 pounds lighter than him, and he is able to stay in front of him, and they just have trouble with him. He just moves freely in space. He just looked like an athletic specimen, even at his size. And when he gets there, he's going to maul you. He's going to maul you. Also, he has this one thing I really pay attention to in this hand placement. A lot of these guys in this draft, they really struggle with hand placement, and it's just not either they place their hands or they're not striking to begin with. But I just like when somebody can shoot their hands inside and be able to stop the initial momentum of the defender, and I see him do that countless of times. He's also hand fighting. He also posted a 34-inch arm span, which gives him an ideal tackle length. But why I say that, I never really care about the measurables, but it's plenty of times on film he'll use one of his moves where he'll long arm the guy with one hand and uses his length to give the defensive end trouble, so he uses his length against the guys, and usually that's the other way around. He's also very strong with his hands, very powerful. Like I said, I see him striking, I see him vice gripping, I see the strength and the the know-how with that. A lot of these guys don't have that. He's very polished in that. The violent snatchback, the cockback I see in the defender's eyes when he uses that is something I really don't see from these other guys. He's also violent in the run game. He'll get in position, he will finish guys, he will lay on you, you know what I'm saying? He will roll all over you. He would try to play, and he plays with great leverage, and he's just angry on the point of attack. I love that in a tackle also. But he just had the athletic makeup to being able to be in position, and he uses his strength. One of my favorite content creators I watch compared him to Tyron Smith, and I think that's almost perfect, man, because a guy who had the physical profile and everything like that, and just abnormally strong, that's high upside for a guy to have that comp right on cue. Now let's go into some of his weaknesses and rooms for improvement. For me, I think the first thing is like the wind and his being able to last long drives and etc. You're gonna need to do that in the NFL, especially as an offensive lineman. You do not have a sub. You are in the entire time, because I mentioned that because his technique falters when he gets tired. You start to see him rise. You'll start to see high pad level. You start to see inconsistent strikes. So his wind is very much directly connected into the success rate of his technique. He needs to build up that endurance over time. Also, he also has a high penalty problem, a very high penalty problem. So sometimes he can get lazy in his technique. I think that's connected to his win as well. So just be on the lookout for that. Him not moving the feet, him just being a little just tad bit grabby and just too confident in his strength. He can have penalty problems. I think this is very much so correctable, but just saying. Also, leverage and balance. Leverage / balance. He can get off balance at times, which means he can be, just bent over waist bender at times, and he's liable at the next level for those bull and snatches, and he's going to be off his feet. So it's very key that he sits back in a stance, in an offensive lineman stance, and be ready to just be on balance in every position, every kick he's in, so he's not liable for the defender to take advantage of that. Also, the mental aspects of the game, he's still late on some of these pass pro stunts and etc. Seeing the the gap exchange, whatever you like to call it. I call it the 50 protection, just being in his own side and just recognizing that every guy on the defense has a gap, and if guys are trying to lure you away, make sure to punch and snap over and get it to your guard and get eyes up and seeing the looper or seeing the penetrator, etc. He just needs to be able to adjust to that. So there's going to be a learning period, I'm already guaranteeing, at the next level, because the game is going to move much faster and the processing speed is going to have a higher demand. So he's going to definitely need to improve in this area as such. I see this guy being a first round pick, like guaranteed. May even go as high as like top 5. The big concern that everyone's having is his injury. I feel like there's been reports that said he's going to be ready, but other than that, I feel like he's clearly the head honcho of this class, clearly the best offensive lineman in this class. If he was in the last year's class, I keep bringing this up, which was a generational class, he would have been at the top of that. So that should show you all alone how much we value this guy's just pure ability. He is a rare find in his class. A lot of these classes have warts. The only wart with him is mainly health, and if you can get that together, you're going to get a great player in this kid who's going to have a superstar type of ceiling. That is Josh Simmons, man. Love this kid out of Ohio State. Be on a lookout for this guy, for this man. Listen, man, if you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe the video, comment down below. How do you feel about Josh Simmons, man? But listen, we do this for the first blame and the last congratulated, man. In other words, we do this for the big guys. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.